What is up, everyone? It is Diecastbuffet here again. Guys, we have a special 124 scale custom in the studio from my friend Rob Evans. This was a build I did for him. He asked me to make it, and it's a custom Iracing Texas Raced Win truck. Has a silver metallic paint job to it. So much detail, so many things to talk about. Let's go ahead and jump into the diecast review. Alright folks, got the base out of the studio, and check out this custom 124. Now, I've made a couple of 124 scale diecasts for Rob, and some of them, they're from different races, right? So one of them is from, I think, Talladega, the other one was from Rockingham. This is from Texas Motor Speedway when he won in iRacing. And it's a special tribute paint scheme to one of his late family members. And it was a very, very special build, and I wanted to do the absolute best job I possibly could do with this paint scheme. So it took a lot of work, a lot of months went into this paint scheme, but there is a lot of things we were able to accomplish with this this build here. And we're gonna go ahead and head to the front of the diecast here again. It's a raced win, so you're going to see a bunch of dirt and scrapage on the paint scheme. It's a lighter colored race truck, so naturally a lot of the rubber buildup and whatnot, it's going to be pretty noticeable. So this is one of the coolest things about this build is the sentimental value to it for his family. And it is a remembrance, I believe, of his grandfather and one of his race cars he had. So it was really cool to be able to do the paint scheme with, you know, the number he had and a similar paint job and whatnot. Just really, really cool stuff. So you got In Loving Memory right there, Don Evans. You got 1935 to 2003. And you got the number 98 right there in the front of the truck. Seeing the number kind of on the hood of the vehicle, it's kind of a little bit of a retro vibe to it. You can see the confetti that is all built up on the cowl flap here. That's something I was thinking, like, you know, this is probably going to be one of the more warmest portions of the truck. So if there's any confetti, it's probably going to, you know, have the, say, champagne or whatever, Gatorade, whatever the biff they have in Victory Lane. It's probably going to be a lot more tackier, and it's going to stick around the cowl flap area. That's kind of the theory with it. The confetti, you know, sprayed across the truck, and then naturally, I would imagine in Victory Lane, if there was any confetti on the hood, they would probably brush it off because they want, you know, the logo to be present. So that's something I've seen with real Raced Win diecasts that they've done. Specifically, like 2018 Eric Jones, his Daytona win, they cleared off some of the logos. So you got Craftsman right there to the front end of the diecast here. This is the newest Chevrolet Silverado mold. I think they updated it in 2022 or 2023, and they still run it today just about. You got the very sleek, kind of a blue brushed silver metallic paint job to it, layered with silver, and then I sprayed the blue kind of silver paint to it. Very, very happy the way it came out. Love the paint job here. You got the Chevrolet bow tie right there. You got your race team logo, Simpson ARP Sunoco. Got a little bit of confetti right there. 98 right there, Simpson ARP. And since it's Texas Motor Speedway, the trucks, I imagine there was probably a good amount of rubber built up and whatnot. And since it's a light colored paint scheme, it's going to be noticeable. If there's any dirt, any grime, you're going to see it on a silver paint job. And that's what I kind of did. I'm going to zoom in just a little bit more here so you could really see. But all those little black spots, I tried to mimic pieces of dirt, you know, rubber built up, anything that might have blown around on the racetrack. And another thing is Fort Worth, Texas. I've been there in person. It is very, very, very windy. So I would not be surprised to see a lot more dirt and grime than normal. And go to the left side of the diecast. You got the very cool retro number 98. Got DEP graphics. Got the vintage race car right there. That is very cool. The family race car, very nice. You got a ton, and I mean an absolute ton of contingencies, different logos and sponsors, and part of his iRacing program. Very, very cool stuff. You got a little bit of fuel spillage. I wish I would have done a little bit better with this right here. The gas nozzle. The problem is the decal set didn't have the silver or gray insert, so I had to manually paint that. And unfortunately, the decal over the embedded portion of the casting, it's not a perfect circle. The decal kind of bends and stretches. It's really hard to get a perfect circle is what I'm trying to get with. And I want it to have that kind of silver touch to it. So yeah, again, it's probably one of the more shortcomings of this diecast. Now, the left side of the truck is the heavier portion of it in terms of confetti. You can even see a little bit of confetti landed. I love doing the confetti, but I try to do it in a realistic pattern. I don't think my work is better than anyone's, so let's make that clear. But I tried to make it as realistic to the racetrack, to how it would look in Victory Lane. We're able to get the Texas-shaped confetti. This is something that they've used in Victory Lane for many years at Texas Motor Speedway. And the idea is that, you know, in Victory Lane, when they first put it on, it's probably going to be caked. But as they push the truck around in Victory Lane, some of it's going to blow off, right? In the Truck Series, they don't usually have as much crew members, maybe as much celebration at times. So I'd imagine they could be a little bit less confetti on the vehicle compared to a Cup Series ride. There's a lot more team sponsors, all kinds of different people that might be in Victory Lane celebrating, Gatorade, that sort of thing, which can make the race vehicle stick better with confetti. I know it's just crazy logistics, but this is how my mind works when I'm wrapping and making these vehicles. So you got the driver name logo right here. This is the Don Evans tribute right there. So it is covered a little bit with the confetti. That was kind of part of it, because the way the confetti is portioned more on the left side of the truck, had to cover some of the logos up so it didn't look too artificial. You know, I want it to look realistic as possible. Got your B-post decals here. You got your normal contingencies. Now the wheels are textured as well. You do have some dirt and grime, a little bit of like some oil, some grit. I painted the wheels. They're naturally just black wheels, right? And I painted them white, right? And then I went over it with yellow, and then I went over it with black. And I wanted to kind of give it a greasy, oily kind of look to it. It's paint. It's not real oil or grease. But I wanted to kind of give it that grimy look. I love that look to it. Adds a lot of texture. Oh, by the way, the tires, yes, they are actually graded down. These are actual worn rubber tires. It's hard to see, but yes, there is texture. There is grit. So it's just like as if it was on the high banks at Texas Motor Speedway, charring down on the rubber tires. This diecast has that replicated. And I like painting the gas tank red. I don't know why, but I like doing that. I know it's not really realistic, but something I always like. Now, in terms of damage, there wasn't a ton of damage on the truck. It was more of a clean raced win. There is a little bit of scrapage on the back end of it. Maybe a restart or two that might have, you know, created a little bit of scrapage. Got Iracing Designs right there with the Instagram logo. You got, shout out to Rob Evans on Instagram. I'll leave his Instagram over on the description for the video if I can remember. And also check me out on Instagram as well at Diecastbuffet. Got the race team logo right there on the left side. You have the rear tail lights. Now this is part of the decal set. Notice how one of them is shorter and one is not. For some reason, that's just how the decal set is, and my theory is that the real trucks, like the actual bed of the trucks, are so skewed out. They're like a Gen 4. So what I'm trying to say is that the real truck is probably going to have a very skewed bed cover area and rear bumper, and that's probably why the tail lights look a little bit interesting. We go left side of the diecast here. Now this portion has no confetti on it. Again, the confetti was blasted from the left front area of the vehicle. Go over here to the right side of the diecast. A little bit of dirt built up around the side here, you know, maybe from the burnout. You got your Goodyear tires. Not a ton of wear on them in terms of the logos, but I also did kind of remove that shine. If you look at the rubber tires on real stock cars, they're not as shiny as you think. And I've noticed on diecast, they're really, really, really shiny. So when I make these raced wins, I try to grit them down to look as realistic to real race car rubber as possible. Again, you can kind of see that gritty, kind of oily look onto the tires, or the rims rather. Even the lug nuts are painted. Some of them are, some of them are not. Some of them are kind of covered up from dirt and grime. Go here to the top of the diecast, and again, you can see more of the mapping of the confetti style, and all this confetti has to be placed in bunches and groups, but the whole theory with it is to make it look as realistic as possible. I don't just put a blanket of confetti on there. I piecemeal it. I plan it out and design it as much as I possibly can, even maybe using some photo references to kind of give me a realistic, you know, ballpark, so to speak, of how the confetti should land. And then naturally with the bed rails here, how it kind of would overlap on this. Got the rear window, what is it, name decal with Rob Evans there. Then you have the bed cover, which the Chevrolet logo is facing this way. and then you flip it around. Let's adjust our camera. And then you flip it around, and then the other portion of the bed cover has, once again, DEP graphics, BDC, and then you have the awesome tribute race car image right there. Very, very cool stuff. So this was a very special build to make. I'm so thankful and honestly honored to be able to make this diecast for them. But I love these iRacing raced wins, because in iRacing they don't have actual confetti on the cars when you do the, when you win the races. You do the burnouts and stuff. So the confetti, the race wear grime, a lot of that has to come from within. It has to come from the mind. You have to have kind of this creative mapping of what the paint scheme should look like. And I try to base it as much as possible based on what happened in the race. So if it was a demo derby, we're going to have a demo derby, right? If it was like you qualified on pole, you led every freaking lap, then obviously it's going to be much more of a clean raced win. But I love the fact that we're able to get the actual Texas confetti on there. I think that is so cool. Look, I've done confetti on diecast for years, and the last year or so I've been really able to upgrade the technology, so to speak, and I freaking love it, man. The new confetti design, it makes me want to make more raced wins. I love raced win diecast, high key. Yes, I know the window, window net is removed. The theory I had with this is that I was going to do a fabric window net and kind of cover the door panel, but I figured since it's more, this is a very special paint scheme, I wanted all the door numbers to be, or both door numbers to be able to be seen, especially since the roof numbers kind of covered up with the confetti naturally. The theory is that the window net would actually be tucked inside of the truck. There is not a window net there. I probably should find a sort of fabric that is large enough that I could cut and I could actually glue into the inside of the cab. And I've seen my buddy LW3, he's done this with, he would take magnets and he could, you'd put at the top of the window rail and you could attach it. That's something I might do in the future. I'd kind of have to, trial and error it. But regardless, this was a build that I really enjoyed doing. And the thing is, these builds take forever. I'll be honest with you, I am a very slow builder. I just don't like to rush things. I don't. I like to take my time and methodically build these things and kind of come up with all the different intricacies to it. And yes, these 124s take a lot of time. You got to drill them out. You can't break the windows, the parts, and then you got to strip the paint. And you got to clean it. It's a lot of work. Like a 164 scale car, like I'll show one right here. These things, they take a lot of time, but nothing compared to a 124 scale diecast. I mean, the amount of work and effort, it is absolutely a lot, but I enjoy it. It's something I really love doing, and I hope I can make more of them in the future. But the iRacing stuff, it's really cool because you're making something that is digital, physical, if that makes any sense. Just realized my arm was blocking the light over here, so I apologize if the video quality is not the best. And oh yeah, I did paint the what do you call these? The exhaust ports. That's the word for it. I'm stupid. That's all for now, guys. Thank you all so much for watching. Again, shout out to Rob Evans. You could check him out on Instagram if you need any design work done and stuff. He makes paint schemes. He does stuff like that, so you can go check him out. If you do iRacing and maybe you need a livery, maybe you're in the late model scene, maybe you're doing short track stuff. If you want someone to maybe do some design work for you, hit him up on Instagram. I'll have his Instagram down below in the description. Hit him up, and maybe you'll get something worked out. That's all for now, guys. Thank you all so much for watching the video. Diecast Buffet. Sign it off.